Well, here we are. This is the quadrangle in the middle of Buckingham Palace. Let's go in. And welcoming us is Joanne. Hi, Joanne. You're in the wardens.
I am.
That talk to the public, of course, and tell them all about this. Shall we shut the door?
Let's
shut the door. And here we are. And this, of course, is the Grand Hall.
It is.
It is very grand. How many visitors do you think you'll get?
Hopefully about 500,000 visitors will visit us.
That's incredible, isn't it? It really is. And of course, they must be really, you know, when they come in here, the reaction must be quite amazing, you know, because it is pretty inspiring, isn't it? What do most people ask you?
I mean, they're interested in the use of the rooms. You know, they've seen them on the television and the magazines, and are they really in that room that they've seen being used? And yes, they are.
That's the thing. There is so much to see. In fact, I wouldn't mind doing a bit of exploring. Is that okay? You can keep an eye on me. Because, oh, look who it is. It's Gyles Brandreth. This is like your second home, isn't it?
Well, I'm excited to be here today and to meet you here.
Oh, it's so exciting.
I have been lucky enough to be here a number of times over the years. Firstly, because I used to work for the late Duke of Edinburgh.
Of course.
Because I was the chairman of one of his charities. And now I'm involved in a couple of the charities of Queen Camilla, the Queen's Reading Room, and the Queen's Commonwealth Essay Prize. And events take place here. And I love it, because this is an extraordinary building. It's living history. It's been open to the public since 1993 in the summer.
Why did they open to the public?
Because you may remember, 1992, there was that terrible fire at Windsor Castle.
That's right,
Very distressing for the Queen in particular, the royal family overall. And the Queen decided, we can't open Windsor Castle anymore. Let us open Buckingham Palace for the first time.
Right.
So that's when members of the public could come in. I think it was about £8. You went on a tour then. But new bits are being opened every year, including, I think you're going to see a bit of the East Wing.
We are very lucky
which was put up in Queen Victoria's time.
Right.
Queen Victoria had a favourite builder called Thomas Cubitt, who built the East Front and the famous balcony. And why he is of particular interest is that he is, or was, the great-great-great-grandfather of Queen Camilla. So when Queen Camilla steps out on that balcony, she feels a sense of family pride because her great-great-great-grandpa built it.
Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing.
Connections.
Well, that's what's so wonderful about this place. It is living history. As we walk across here...
Shall we?
Well, shall we?
Look at this.
Go towards the bow room. You think of all the people who have been here.
You do.
Members of the public come here when they go to a garden party.
Of course.
But also ambassadors, when they come from foreign countries to present their credentials to the sovereign, they come through here. High Court judges, when they're appointed, come here to be knighted by the sovereign. Bishops, when they're appointed, because the king is head of the Church of England, they all come here into this room, which is called the bow room.
The bow room. Why is it called the bow room?
Because of the bow window.
Oh, of course. Well, that makes sense, right?
In here, they have receptions of different kinds. Last time I spoke in this room was some years ago for an event for a charity called Fields in Trust. The president was the Duke of Edinburgh, the late Duke of Edinburgh, and I thought I was going rather well, but he kept going, oh, this is so boring, we've heard that joke before, oh, for goodness sake, man, oh, dear. And you say to the crowd, don't believe a word he says, he makes it all up as he goes along.
You were being heckled.
I was being heckled by the Duke of Edinburgh. It was quite unnerving. He could be quite frightening.
I'm sure he could.
But also, when I wrote my book about the Queen, I was privileged to come in here and witness what goes on in that room.
Oh, this one.
Which is called, they have a day called Credentials. And this is where the ambassadors present their credentials. And an equerry will bring the ambassador through with an equerry, knock on the door, in they go, and the sovereign will give them 10 minutes of time, and then press a little secret bell under a table, which means the equerry opens the door again and your time is up.
So if you're boring,
yeah, exactly. So please don't press that bell.
I'm not going to press any buttons at all.
I also saw the Queen knighting somebody in there, and I was interested because she was quite a small lady, and it was quite a big person being knighted, and she produced this sword, which turned out to be the sword that she always used, the sword of her father, the ceremonial sword that she did the dubbing with.
Right.
I don't know what sword the king uses. But you come through here. If you've been to a garden party, you can actually come in through the front entrance and you go out through these wonderful windows.
So this is where it all happens?
This is where it all happens. And you go into this garden, which is the largest private garden in London.
Right.
But you've got to get the timing right. I once arrived a little bit late, 4 o'clock. I thought that's on time, but it wasn't. I went out, I heard them playing the national anthem. I thought this is rather nice. Then I realised that just over there was, you know, the Queen,
yes.
of Wales, or the whole lot. So I quickly retreated.
Giles.
And I did, actually, once here, I did meet, standing about here, literally about here, James Callaghan. Remember him?
I do, the Labour Prime Minister, ex-Labour Prime Minister,
British Prime Minister,
of course.
And he'd just been appointed Prime Minister, and I said, oh, Mr. Callaghan, congratulations, sir. And you now, you know, you meet the Queen on a regular basis, you're friends with the senior royals. He said, oh, no, no, young man, remember this. Senior royalty, they offer you friendliness, not friendship. Never forget the difference.
Right.
And that's why I'm always quite respectful, and I stand, knowing it's friendliness, not friendship, with my hands behind my back, and do a little bob with my head.
Little bob. Thank you very much. Do a little bob for me. That's make me feel very special.
Well, no, I now appreciate that I'm dismissed, and the equerry stepping backwards. Your Majesty.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Your Majesty.